Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for a discussion of Perpetua Resources' recent achievements, including the publication of the Supplemental Draft Environmental Impact Statement. I'm Chris Fogg, and I lead our investor relations efforts for Perpetua. Today, we have with us Laurel Sayer, President and CEO, and Jess Largent, CFO, who will share a short presentation, and then we will open it up for Q&A with the team, including Alan Haslam, VP of Permitting, and Mackenzie Lyon, VP of Public Affairs. Please feel free to submit questions as we go along today using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. We will collect submitted questions and address as many as we can following the presentation session. First, we'll hear from Laurel. Over to you, Laurel.
Thank you, Chris, and welcome. To begin, I would like to remind everyone of Perpetua's vision. It's to develop one of the lowest cost open pit gold mines in the U.S., provide the country with a critical mineral important for national defense and clean energy transition, and restore an abandoned brownfield site. I'm excited today to provide an update on Perpetua's progress towards achieving this vision. Today, we are one big step closer following the release of the Supplemental Draft Environmental Impact Statement, or Supplemental DEIS, for public comment. Importantly, our mine plan was identified as the preferred alternative in this document, which provides further clarity for the remainder of the NEPA permitting process. Before we jump in, I'll just highlight our cautionary language on slides 2 and 3. Perpetua Resources investment thesis, it has never been stronger. We plan to redevelop one of the largest, lowest cost, and long life gold projects in the U.S. Our project has great economics with a 15-year reserve life, a payback period of less than 3 years, and we have a strategic and valuable byproduct in antimony. Our project is also located in one of the best mining jurisdictions in the world, and we have strong community support. The strong support we have here in Idaho has been built over the last decade as our communities and politicians, they have seen our commitment to responsible mining and restoration at Stibnite. One of the many reasons that we are so unique is because we will take an area abandoned after 100 years of mining activity, most of which was to support World War II and the Korean War, and we use a sustainable approach to restore the environment and develop a modern mining project with a critical mineral production. As we look ahead, we have a clear, well-defined path forward for our project, including restoration of this area in need of cleanup. The Forest Service released the Supplemental Draft EIS for the Stibnite Gold Project on October 28, 2022, kicking off a 75-day comment period. Importantly, the Forest Service identified Perpetua's proposed mine plan as the preferred alternative, which is a major milestone in the advancement of the project. Following the Forest Service's review of the comments received, they will respond to substantive comments, which supports the preparation of the final EIS and the record of decision. Based on the comprehensive scientific analysis conducted over the last 6 years and the expected path forward, we believe a final record of decision is achievable in late 2023 or early 2024. This timeline assumes approximately 6 months after the comment period ends until a final EIS and a draft record of decision is published, and then another 6 months before a final record of decision. A detailed schedule review from the Forest Service is anticipated after the comment period closes and comments are reviewed. So assuming a construction decision is made in early 2024, our project is expected to be in production in 2027. A more sustainable future has been a cornerstone of our company's decision-making processes since the beginning, and our proposed plan was built with responsible solutions in mind. We began environmental study and feedback gathering in 2010, long before we submitted our original plan of restoration and operations to the U.S. Forest Service in 2016 that kicked off our NEPA permitting process. The stakeholder feedback that we've received over the years has been instrumental in helping improve environmental outcomes for our project. Following the draft EIS comment period in 2020 and refinements to our proposed plan, the Forest Service eliminated two alternatives from further consideration, and they made the decision to prepare a supplemental draft EIS to evaluate the remaining access route alternatives and plan refinements. Our proposed plan, incorporating the burnt log route, was identified as the preferred alternative because the plan, one, incorporates water management and closure activities to reduce the duration of long-term water treatment requirements. It incorporates measures to manage stream temperatures, and it will reduce the potential for impacts associated with access, transportation, hazardous materials on Johnson Creek, and the East Fork, South Fork of the Salmon River. Under NEPA, a preferred alternative is identified to let the public know which action the agency is leaning towards selecting as final. And we are very pleased to see that the Forest Service recognized our efforts to improve the environmental outcomes at Stibnite and highlighted some of these improvements in the recently released document for public comment. Today, we are closer than ever before to achieving our vision based on this very positive development for our project. The supplemental draft EIS compares the environmental impacts of our proposed plan to leaving the site as it is today under baseline conditions, and it articulates several specific ways that our plan is expected to improve environmental conditions in certain key areas, including improving water quality, mitigating effects on water temperature, and increasing access to habitat for fish. The Forest Service outlined that they expect a permanent regional and beneficial effect on Chinook salmon, steelhead, bull trout, and West Slope cutthroat trout. Also, there is significant improvement in the volume and the duration of long-term water treatment due to refinements in the water management plan. And we outlined an updated closure strategy incorporating engineered cover systems over the top of the tailings storage facility and on top of the backfilled Yellow Pine and Hanger Flats pits. Importantly, after more than 6 years of regulatory review, the Forest Service has also concluded the preferred alternative would reasonably accomplish the purpose and need for consideration of approval of the Stibnite Gold Project, while giving consideration to environmental, economic, and technical factors. Thank you, and now I'll turn it over to Jess.
Thank you, Laurel. Turning to other recent accomplishments and near-term catalysts. In 2021, we achieved several important milestones. First, we listed on the NASDAQ to broaden our access to new investors. We also signed a strategic supply agreement with Ambri, directly linking our project to the clean energy transition. And in August, we raised gross proceeds of $57.5 million in a public offering. And as of October 31st, 2022, we had about $28 million in cash to continue advancing permitting and other critical work streams. We continued to build momentum into 2022 by breaking ground this summer on early cleanup activities at site under the ASAOC agreement with the EPA and Department of Ag, by recently completing initial stream diversion activities for this summer field season. And then earlier this year, we launched our sustainability roadmap after publishing our 9th annual sustainability report. In late June, we received our very first permit, the Clean Air Act permit to construct. And more recently, we were awarded 2 funding grants from the Department of Defense to study antimony from our project. Looking forward, we have some exciting milestones, including the next major permitting milestones as we advance towards project development. However, despite all of our recent achievements and near-term catalysts, we continue to be significantly undervalued relative to our peer group, with nearly all of the pre-permitted projects trading at a multiple of 2 to 4 times where we are trading. We expect a significant re-rating to occur as we continue advancing through the permitting process, but also believe there's opportunity today with investors who recognize the strategic value of our asset for its antimony and who value companies with ESG principles that are foundational to their business plans. We are trading at nearly the widest discount to our project's value since before the 2020 draft environmental impact statement was published. However, there are a few big differences between where we are today compared to 2020. First, our proposed plan has been identified as the preferred alternative in the NEPA process. We have a strategic supply agreement in place with a partner that is rapidly commercializing its clean energy battery technology. And we received government funding to study antimony from our project to support national defense needs. What has not changed are the fundamental properties of our world-class asset. With 4.8 million ounces of reserves, the Stibnite gold project is one of the largest gold reserves in the US not owned by a major producer. In total, we have 6 million ounces of measured and indicated resources, with an additional 1.2 million ounces of inferred resource. And this slide does not include our significant antimony endowment, which has reserves of 148 million pounds and 206 million pounds in measured and indicated resources. Our annual gold production will average approximately 300,000 ounces per year over the mine life, and more than 460,000 ounces per year in the first 4 years, which would make it the largest producing mine in the US outside of the Nevada Gold Mines joint venture. Next slide, please. The Stibnite project will be powered by the lowest carbon emissions grid in the nation. Our ability to source low-cost Idaho hydropower, combined with a low strip ratio, and an antimony byproduct credit of $70 per ounce, we are well positioned in the lowest quartile of the global cost curve. Life of mine all-in sustaining costs will average less than $650 per ounce, and in the first 4 years will be less than $450 per ounce. Even with the inflationary environment we are seeing today, the primary drivers of our low operating costs will offer a buffer to those headwinds. Our project's free cash flow profile demonstrates strong returns with a payback period of less than 3 years and an average after-tax free cash flow of nearly $300 million per year over the 15-year life. This cash flow profile, with an $1,850 gold price assumption, generates an NPV of approximately $1.9 billion using a 5% discount rate. If you use our base case of $1,600 gold price, the project has an NPV of greater than $1.3 billion and delivers an internal rate of return of more than 22%. But most importantly, our project is resilient to lower gold prices, given our position on the cost curve. For every 10% change in total CapEx, our project NPV changes by approximately $100 million. Based on our current market cap, we are trading at nearly the widest discount to NAV despite achieving significant milestones. And I think this represents a very attractive entry price for new investors. Now I'll touch on our strategic and valuable byproduct antimony. Antimony has been identified as one of the 50 critical minerals, given the US has no primary production, and China, Russia, and Tajikistan dominate the world supply with more than 90% of global production. The US, Canada, Europe, and Australia have all included antimony on their critical minerals list as well. Historically, antimony has been used for its properties of strengthening alloys and making them resistant to corrosion, and as a flame retardant. Currently, antimony is being used in bearings for wind and hydro turbines, tinting for solar panels, and in semiconductors. It is also used in munitions for the military. And it's also used in a low-cost liquid metal battery. Perpetua offers investors a unique opportunity to gain exposure to both the clean energy transition and national defense applications. The current administration has made it clear that securing America's critical minerals supply chain is essential to our national and economic security. We couldn't agree more, and today we are one step closer to being part of the solution. In fact, our project alone could supply more than 35% of annual US demand over our first 6 years of production. We plan to produce an antimony concentrate at scale, but we are also evaluating opportunities to produce military-grade antimony trisulfide. We are both excited and proud to have recently been awarded not one, but 2 grants from the US Defense Logistics Agency to study this potential. We are confident in our ability to meet the military specifications because historically, our site has supplied the War Department with 90% of antimony demand and helped define the current specifications for multiple munitions products. On the clean energy side, last year we signed an agreement to supply a portion of our antimony for Ambree's liquid metal battery. Our agreement establishes the foundation to help facilitate the decarbonization of energy grids. Ambree has developed an antimony-based, low-cost battery for the long-duration energy storage market, and our project will provide them antimony from the only responsible and domestically mined source of this critical mineral. Our minimum supply commitment can power over 13 gigawatt hours of energy storage. And this partnership directly links the restoration and responsible redevelopment of our project to achieving our nation's energy goals. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Laurel for closing remarks.
Thank you, Jess. At Perpetua, we believe how we accomplish our goals is as equally important as the goals themselves. Our approach to everything we do is guided by our core values and based on the principles outlined in this slide. I would just highlight that our purpose is to leave the project site better than we found it while creating a lasting legacy of economic benefits in the community. I believe the supplemental draft EIS, it clearly articulates how our project will benefit all of our stakeholders. And I hope that you will take the opportunity to read the document and make your voice heard during the comment period. In fact, we need responsible mining here at home, and our project can help solve real challenges. So summing up, Perpetua Resources is unique because we bring solutions. We have a large, low-cost, high-grade open-pit gold mine. We will offer the only domestic mine source of the critical mineral antimony, and we will use mine development to fund restoration at an abandoned mine site.
Thank you everyone for joining us today to learn more about Perpetua Resources and our Stibnite Gold project. For more information, please visit our website, perpetuaresources.com. And also I wanted to just point out that we have a very cool new tool on our website that allows you to tour our project virtually. And the link is at the bottom of this slide here. So please take a look if you've not already had a chance. And thank you very much again.